Welcome back to Cat Angel's Multiverse. At some point I will misspell this thing, really, and I will regret to have named this YouTube channel such a long name. Anyway, we are painting today this wonderful froggy again. You see, since the last time I could fix it. Sadly you see where the broken parts are. But anyway, we could fix it and it will just standing in a shelf, and from there I guess nobody will really see where I have fixed it, so it's okay. Maybe we will also use it, also I will use it for playing D&D, who knows, when we encounter such a froggy thingy. I have painted in the meantime. It's just the how is it called? The leaves and all these red things, and I just have made some base coats there. I have not done anything really amazing there. So let me just get to my stream real fast, because I want to see what I'm doing. At least. Interesting. YouTube is not very difficult to use, but it's different from Twitch to get to the page where you actually doing something or live streaming, so you can here is it, the control room. Ooh, such a name. The control room. Yeah, let's continue. We have stopped with the red, so we will continue with the red. Maybe I cannot show you really my wet palette at the moment. You will see it slightly blurred, not just slightly blurred. I know it's quite blurred. And we will use another color for this. We will use just a little bit a damp brush here. Let me just slightly damp, and I need a little bit of this household paper so I can get off the paint that it's too much on the brush. So now we have a little bit of red. I will put this on my palette. The color is, in this wet palette, the color is really wet. I think that's in the name. No, it's really yeah, if you see here, that's freshly from the palette, yeah, here, and I test it here. It's just flowing. And I like to have a little bit more control, so I have a little thicker layers, but or a thicker paint. But I guess that's what it is if you use a wet palette and want to reuse the color a day after you have used it. Oh, it's really wet. But anyhow, I will get used to this. What I'm doing now is just to get a nice little orange touch on this red paint. And yes, I have changed the camera setup a bit, so it's a little bit darker. Maybe I could readjust some settings to make it a little bit yeah, but anyhow, I need let me just readjust my brush and use the other brush, because I think I need a little bit more detailed brush than I have used before. So let's get here with the 000. I want to just touch the leaves with a little bit of this orange color. And I think it's just you don't see it really. At least not in my eyes. Because it's so watered down. Yeah, now I have everywhere those little color drops because I have not touched the brush on my towel. Maybe I need a glass for painting. I have the feeling my eyes getting worse. Ah. I am getting old. I'm just lining here the bandages of this froggy, just a little touch of this orangey color. To make it a little bit brighter. It's at the moment a really dark shade of red. And it is allowed a little bit pop out into the eye of the viewer. Just a little bit more lights here and there. Also here on this leaf, a little bit behind all the things. It's also allowed for this to get a little bit more light. And here this bandage on his feet. And you see I have not covered all the bandages yet. Because I want to make this a blue and red mini, so it will have red and blue leaves. So let's just get here more of the yellow in it to make it even brighter. And hopefully to get a little even more of these highlights here. But just slightly, like little drops on leaves or little stripes here on the edge of the bandage. Just to increase a little bit the contrast of the different shades on this mini. Here it will get a little bit difficult because of the glue I have used, but still it will be visible. And I'm shaking. Maybe you see it on the camera. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's enough of this. Now just again a little bit more of the yellow to get this last touch of highlights or yeah, it's highlights. It's not only patterns on the leaves or something, it's also a little bit highlighting. So it will not be my best paint job, I guess, but maybe it's not about to paint the best paint job. Maybe it is more about improving from each time. And I have the feeling that I already did improve here. I have tried a new technique, or at least it is new for me. I have used a little bit more of glazing on this mini than I usually do, or did. And I guess this was a good thing to do, because I think the darker and brighter greens on the mini here, especially in this area here where you have shadows and highlights mixed, it's a little bit not that harsh. Or here. Yeah, and now I have to put it right into focus. Yeah. And that's, I would say it's a good thing. That's at least what I think is the target if you glaze, to make smoother jumps between colors. And I really have to figure out where my glasses are. I have glasses, but my eyes are not always the same. How is it called? Not always that bad. It's not that I don't see, but it hurts a little bit. And then I have to wear the glasses again for some time. So now, excuse me, I have to mix my colors real fast. I will use now the phthalo blue. I don't know how to pronounce this the right way, so I'm sorry if I pronounce it the wrong way. Just put a little drop on it on my wet palette, and we will continue with coloring the leaves here. At some point we will use also a brown. Ooh, that's a really, really dense color. I think I have to use a little bit of glaze medium here to and I have still the wrong brush. I have the smaller brush. I guess I can go again a little bit to the upper side, to the little bit bigger brush here. And a little bit more of glazing, yeah, of the glazing medium to thin the paint a little bit down. Yeah, I guess that's now the right amount. It flows from the brush easily, I think, or at least I think it should behave like this. So now, Froggy, you have a blue band here. I could have also, now that I think of it, I could have also made those bands here in the color I will do this centerpiece of the Froggy. Maybe I will overpaint it. We will see. Sometimes the idea comes after you have painted something. And that's okay. You can always repaint it. Or just decide to let it be like it is for now, and maybe give it another try and paint it at another time again. That's a cool thing with painting. Nothing really, you cannot destroy something, you can just make it better. Maybe you will make it worse at first, but you still have the chance to redo it. Maybe, except if you drop the whole mini in paint and the paint is thick and obscures all the details. Then maybe you have to reprint it or rebuy the mini, however you get your minis. And feel free to write something in the chat or in the comments if you feel like I'm missing something, or if you want to talk about the topic. I am reading at the moment a little bit more about all the rules in D&D. That's quite interesting, but I guess that's not what all people like to do. I at some point I hate to do this. At the other point I enjoy it because then I can play the game a little bit better, faster. I can let my mind focus on different aspects of the game and not only the oh, did I use the right rule for this or that? I have also discussed with a colleague on the Discord about the rules for underwater combat or at general underwater rules. I didn't know that there were some rules, but I didn't know where they were and how they have how they work. And so I read a little bit in the handbook, in the player's handbook. I thought that there were some rules, and there are about the underwater combat. Other things about underwater, how you could play underwater or something like this, is in the Dungeon Master's Guide. So if you plan to do a underwater dungeon or something like that, I would recommend to have both rule sets to really have everything you need for this. You can do much with just a player's handbook, to be fair, but I find it useful to also have the for such kind of things, how you run something. It's the Dungeon Master's Guide, really helpful. And it is that you have this, if you have not the swimming speed attribute, which means that you have more or less proficiency in swimming and can swim maybe not faster than usual, maybe you can. But it's more about that there is this attribute. And if you have it, you don't have disadvantage at melee attacks. And if you don't have it, you have disadvantage on melee attacks. Except, and now it's a funny thing, with daggers and javelins and tridents and such stuff. That's quite interesting. You have disadvantage on attacking except for those weapons. Oh, I have, yeah, a little bit touched the green skin. But it could also be a shadow. Sometimes you have just to reinterpret the mistakes. Not that they are mistakes, maybe they are features. It's like in programming sometimes. Da, da, da. Yeah, and I'm listening to music. Sadly, I cannot share what I'm listening to because of copyright stuff. I don't want to earn money with playing music for you guys. So I guess it would not be a real problem, but my videos would have this malus, this thing. I don't want to risk anything by just letting you guys hear my music. I've mentioned it maybe last stream also. So just put on some music you like, because I might not listen to the same thing you like. So it's also an advantage that I don't play music. So you can just listen to what you like. My ear is at the moment Roxette, this rock band from the 80s, rock pop. I don't even know which song it is at the moment. I think it's one of the newer songs from them. I mean, the female singer has already died. She had cancer and, yeah, sadly passed away. I really like the music, even if it's not it's not my time of music. I mean, somehow I was born in the 90s, but I listen to music from the 90s, but I also like music from the 80s, the 70s sometimes even. Just not anything older than the 2000s, except it's from a special band or that I really like, that has still the same style or something. I don't know, just like the music more from the past century. Do you listen to music if you're painting? Would be interesting to see what you all listen to. Or maybe you don't even listen to music like me. I usually did watch Critical Role or listen to Critical Role while I'm painting. I don't do this if I'm also streaming because I think I can't focus then so good to talking and reading the stream, reading the chat. I even now have a little bit difficulties if a funny song like this comes up. Ah, yeah. A funny song about car riding at the Autobahn. I will go with another song. Can't focus with this. And I also think that it's difficult for me to listen to German songs and talking English. I guess that's another difficulty that comes with streaming. I mean, it works for some time, but it costs me much energy. You don't see anything, huh? I think the camera position is better than last time. You can see more what I'm doing, but there is a big but. I think the light is more difficult to get right. So now this whole thing is painted, and you have already some highlights because I have thinned down the paint. That's cool. I like this. Oh, here this band. I will make this band here too with this phthalo blue. Maybe I need even a little bit more water here, or glaze medium, to really get into the excesses of this model. I really have no idea if this is good what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. I really just enjoy the painting process and talking with somebody. Sometimes I just join the Discord chat if some friends are playing a game and I'm just sitting here and painting while they're playing their game. It's also quite relaxing, as maybe a hint. If you would like to have company, join a Discord and just go in the Discord chat. Maybe I really need to paint those things in some metal colors, huh? But let's finish here at first. So I think it's time to get out the white paint. I think with blue especially, it gets nicer highlights with white. At least at the moment I'm thinking that. Maybe the yellowish, I could try it. Should we risk a little bit something? Here come. I have to mix first the paint again. I guess we can try it with this. It's a little bit thin, this color now, but it could work. So I don't have to use another. Yeah. I think this works. We are learning new things here. And I still have the big brush, but I don't want to change it now. I've started this now with this brush, so let me learn to use my brush on details. Yeah, we have here a little bit more highlights. I will paint those things down here in golden. I will repaint this. But the leaves, I want to have some structure there beneath the structure of the model. This was a little bit too much pressure. At some point, it's just getting slightly touched. Maybe we can make a little bit edge. Oh, it's now I have missed. I missed the spot where I wanted to paint it, but it's okay. It's just a small thing that happened. It's okay. And I missed again. But we are learning here things. It's okay if you mess up, really. And here we just paint the top of the scarf a little bit. If there is a fold on it, we will paint the top of this fold. I don't know if this is really the right word, a fold. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have now a color which remembers me of a color of another brand. Let me just, this color here, the Andrea blue, but with a big difference. The difference is this color I have here is much less transparent than this Andrea blue from Vallejo. I hate this color. I've gotten it because I love the look of the color in the bottle, but it's so thin. It's like water, and then it goes everywhere in the recesses, and with this bright color I don't want it mostly in the recesses, so yeah. Maybe I have just gotten a bad bottle of this color. That could also be that it's just this bottle that is really thin because maybe it's old or something. This can also happen, I guess. I don't know if I can sing on stream. Don't risk it now. It's an old summer hit I'm listening now. It's somehow stupid, but that's often the case with those summer hits, I guess. There are so many cool models out there, and I really want to paint a little bit more. And my hope is if I stream and let's say body doubling with the potential of somebody is watching me here painting, that my brain is a little bit more tricked, so that I really sit down and paint. I mean, I have started yesterday with streaming, and I'm sitting here now again. That's a good thing, I guess. So now, no more, no more, no more. Yeah, I'm singing. I can't resist on some things, songs. Even if I don't understand what they are singing sometimes. So, to be safe, I just skip the song to another song. I don't know the lyrics as good. Yeah, I quite like it. Maybe we can even go further with the highlights. That's a challenge I have heard that is important, but difficult if you start with painting minis to really push the contrast. That's important because it's so small, those things. The eye is getting tricked, or it's easier to see. Let's say like this, if you have more contrast, you can see the details better. So let's try to push the contrast just a little bit. I think the paint is too thin to really make a big difference, but at least I can say I have tried. And I will try to just put on this last layer of paint just on some points and not everywhere. So that just some points are a little bit lighter than others. But I find so fascinating. There are such great mini painters out there, which I just wonder how they do it. Sometimes there are even videos, but if I watch it, it's just unbelievable. I mean, they put in mostly more time than I do in such a mini, and often those really great painters do painting for a living. And that's not something that you can just say, yeah, that doesn't matter. It matters. If you do something for a living, you do it daily, so you get better. You can invest more time, and so yeah, automatically you will get. Should I use this color or this? You get better results faster. Let's say it like this. Or should I get some of my colors here? Let's just get out those thingies to compare the colors which I want to use. There are ideas for skid colors, how to mix them. It's not what I want. I just want to get red oxide. Okay, that's the color I want. That's really bright, this color. Let's go with the expansion set. Maybe the oxide brown light is something. Interesting. I have noted there. That's more a rusty color. Ah. Let's then go with oxide brown. Or what did I say first? I did say the normal oxide brown, huh? Or the oxide red. Red oxide. So, brr. Those color names really are, excuse me, mixing, are difficult to remember. Maybe I have to mix it manually first a little bit. Yeah. At the end, I want to make a post where I put a photo of my used colors and this froggy in there to show. And maybe it would be even interesting to use my wet palette too. I don't know, maybe this is would also be interesting for people to see. And oh my gosh, those pigments of this color are amazingly dense. So I really have to thin this down a lot. And another song I could sing too. Oh. It's so sad that it's so difficult to sing and make music in this age of time, or whatever, however it's called in this time. I mean, I could just say cover songs or something, but yeah, I don't like this. Don't want to... Oh, oops. My frog has a red mouth. I really don't want to get into some copyright troubles. And I'm not a lawyer. So let's just go with standard stuff. And before I paint maybe this wooden shield, I guess I just should paint the belt of this thing, of this froggy, and maybe get a little slightly different color for the shield then, because I don't want to have the same look on leather than I have on the wood. I like to differentiate those things a little bit more and the small things. Now let's paint this little satchel. I have thinned down now the paint a lot because if I paint this brown a lot, it's the zenithal highlighting will show through, and so it will make it easier for me to then shade and have I have automatically shadows and stuff there. That's quite nice. And another song to sing to. Oh, I just have songs to sing to. Is that bad? Maybe let's experiment with mixing colors right now. If I put just a little bit of blue in it, maybe yeah, it worked, guys. The color will get a little bit darker. Oh, this blue is intense. It's getting really dark. Maybe just a little dot of the brown again to make it just a little bit lighter. So let's try this color now on the shield. Yeah, that's a real nice chocolate brown now. Ooh. And even a little bit too dense, so the zenithal highlightings will not show through it much, but that's okay. With wood, it's often very nice to just make a wash over it, because with the wash, the color goes into the recesses, and then the colors get the structure of the wood is getting much clearer to see. Let's take this here also, this dark blue for the handle of this sigil. I think it's called sigil. Yeah, I paint all over the I don't know how to call these things. Strings. I guess strings is the right word. But the strings I want to paint in a different color, and for that I take out my beloved color for strings and such things, and this is this color, the dark sand. I said it, I would like to paint all with it with chimera colors, but for strings this color is just perfect. So I will use it. Yeah. Don't run away. This vortex mixture just goes away if you mix stuff with it. So now let's take the small brush, the 000, and I want just quite a dense or a thick paint here. So I do have quite much control over it, so it doesn't flow away. Maybe just a little bit of water, but not too much, because again I don't want that it flows away. But I need the color still to flow down of my brush, so that's difficult if you need such a small little dot painted. Get the right amount on the brush, the right consistency of the paint. It's not an easy task. On the other side, I don't think it's a hard part too, but maybe that's just me. Now here we have some stitching. Stitching disappears on the bottom because it lies on the knee of this frog, but continues on the other side. Yeah, I get this. I just want to finish this frog today. And sometimes you don't even have to paint everything to call it finished. Microphone, you're on the way. So what I need now is to paint with black and white those little frog eyes before I move on to the last step, the pigmented paint. Because pigmented paint I always paint last, because then I have to definitely switch my glass of water and I have to switch to the cheaper brushes. I need I need a white. Off-white here. I'd just use now the Vallejo equivalent, because it's just for just this little dot of white and just this little dot of black. I don't want to open the, or just I don't want to use the, expensive. Can I call it expensive? It's not even that expensive, but yeah, you know what I mean. The little bit more expensive, luxurious paint. So now let's just really rinse this brush and really make it dry again. As dry, not too dry, but so that I have enough control over the color. That's too much color on the brush. Yeah, that's enough. Most difficult part always are the eyes. Some people like to paint the eyes first, because if they mess up, they just have to start over again. I don't like to paint I don't like to paint the eyes first if it's just not in the flow of the mini. It's like every mini has its own story if you paint it. And this guy, little guy here, somehow has the story that the eyes are lost. Interestingly. And the eyes are more or less just black. So if the eyes are just black, one thing you can drastically improve the look of it, make a little white dot somewhere. Just a little light dot. Yeah. Because that's where the light reflects it. Except the eyes are dry, but I don't think that there are really possible dry eyes that come into my mind. Eyes are glossy, and to get that glossy look, you just put a little dot of white in it somewhere. That's mostly very difficult. And even if you don't see it, there is a little, you might see it. There is now a little white dot. You don't need more sometimes, especially if it's so small. Most people will not even recognize those little dots. What annoys me at the moment is that there is one long hair, or one hair that's a little bit longer. This long hair disturbs me a little bit by painting this little dot. Yeah, and I have messed it up. Great! Yeah. Then we go back to the black. Back to black. There's also a song out there. And just paint over the mess. Oh, I have forgotten to paint the tongue of this little guy. Oh, this poor unfortunate soul. So yeah, stop singing before Disney claims my video. And I think I have messed up the tongue too. It's just so bright. Oh, this poor guy. I wanted it to make a thin layer, but I guess because it's so thin, the color, I just have it just blopped out of the brush and it's now everywhere. Maybe I could save it now a little bit to just rinse my brush and then dry it a little bit on the towel. Yeah, maybe it's not even that bad now. It's enough. So now we have here the shield. That's dry now. Where we want a really thin down paint, or if you have a wash. I have a wash, but I don't like the glossy look of it. Maybe if I do it like this, there's also a glossy look. I don't know. So let's try to get this paint in here or over it. And let the paint do the job for you. Let it flow into the wood structure, genau. Oh yeah, music is something for every heart. It's not bad, but it's also not great. I guess you could, if you want to really make it good looking, you could then also too how should I say it? Dry brush it with even another color over it. And after that, I'm sorry, I'm thinking and painting and talking. You could also, what you could also do is to paint each of those wood slices or the wood planks into another shade of brown, so it looks like 3 different wood planks. Could also look nice, but I have chosen now to just finish it more or less. Maybe I dry brush it afterwards, I don't know yet. But now let's go to the pigmented paint. I am not yet a painter who can paint NMM, non-metallic metal. So I have just this little, this little plastic palette, and just give me a sec. So now we can finish it. I have made the froggy you see on the picture has golden, really golden things around his crown or whatever it is. So I will make this quite similar. Shake it. I don't know what to say if it shakes, so. So I just hope this has shaken enough. And let's take out the cheaper brush. It's just a really synthetic brush here. A really cheap, small synthetic brush. And let's cover now this thing here with this color. I really find it difficult to paint with pigmented metallic color. There are other types of those color thingies out there that's not with pigments in it. But still, I don't know. I haven't found, or I have not. I think there are more important things that I want to have first, like some dirt pigments and stuff. Because I have printed some stones and stuff just to have more heights and so on for the D&D maps. Sadly, I haven't people to play with in person, but maybe sometime, at some point. At some point I will make maybe a little bit of quest of myself to find some people to play in real life and not just over the PC. Because it's another feeling to have minis on the table where you and play like this than just to push tokens over a map on some map tools on the screen. It's just a different thing. And you know what? I paint one of them. I paint one of them, and then I decide if I should paint the other one too, of this foot bracelets or however this is called. I don't like this kind of metallic color. Really, I don't like it. Because it goes into the recesses and has their clumps of color, but it doesn't fully cover the rest of the thing, so it's just like, it just looks patchy then. Maybe this is the look we want to go, but nah, not often, really not often, I guess. If I want a golden thing, I want it golden, not just patchy golden. To dry brush, it's great, to be fair. If you have a dark surface, black surface, and just want to let the gold shimmer through it like it's an old golden thing, then it's great, this color, really. But for how I use it now, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Could also be because I'm so new in this hobby. I might not know every trick there is. Yeah. So I will now just go back and paint with the same brush, because now it's the brush is or the water is contaminated with those metal pigments. But I want to paint just a real, if it goes well, it goes well, and if it goes bad, it goes well. Just the lines of this bracelet here with the string color. It doesn't look good, but we will learn from this for the next mini. We will learn from this. After that, I have really earned my evening. Yeah, and what I also do is to dry brush now real fast this shield. I don't like it like it is right now. For this I also use an old brush, maybe and I just also use my beloved sand color. It's a great color, you can use it for almost everything. It's not great, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not really great, but hey, I'm just a beginner, so what do you think about the finished Froggy Warrior? I like it. I really like it. And I really enjoyed to paint this froggy. I have now, this is the second one. I have this king froggy or whatever it is already on my shelf. I can't get it now. But those two are really one of my favorite painted minis. I don't know why. Somehow maybe because you can just... There's the right amount of detail, maybe? I don't know. I like it. They are from Loot Studios, a really great company to get your models for your D&T or your 3D printer. And yeah, now I will take a photo, call it a day for today's painting session. I wish you a good evening, and even if this stream is called Good Morning Stream, I just wanted to turn on the stream today and just finish this little project because I couldn't finish it yesterday. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. Yeah, write something in the comments if you have watched this video or just cut through it, zapped through it. If you have seen something I'm doing wrong, please feel free to correct me, even if it's about my speech. I mean, I'm not a native English speaker. I like to learn. Yeah, maybe I've said it. Have a nice evening. Like, subscribe if you want to see more of this. And until next time.